Hi everyone, it's Lisa, and this is the second time of filming this update, so we don't know what's going to happen. The last time the phone fell off, oh, it's wobbly there, isn't it? The phone fell off, the sat-nav fell off, everything. It was all very interesting. So anyway, first of all I want to do a quick apology for the fact that we've not done any updates recently. We've not been online for about 6 weeks. We have had a hectic time of it recently. The stress before Christmas that we talked about with the police thing, well, that's now sort of been dealt with, hasn't it? The police have spoken to the person, and hopefully that's that. Done and dusted, hopefully. We shall see. But then we've had all sorts of other personal stresses happen. We've started a new group in Doncaster for our transport organisation that we're running. That's added its own pressures, hasn't it? We're actually on our way to Doncaster now. My health has been pretty horrendous. There's been a few weeks where Rufus has basically spent most of the week looking after me, haven't there? And my aunt passed away very, very suddenly. And so yeah, there's just been a lot of, oh, your mum had two knee operations in the last 6 months. So both knees she's had operated on. And as you can see, look at the size of my face. My weight has piled back on. I've probably lost all of what I took off over the last period on Slimming World. I came off plan completely. I have eaten crap since then. My eating disorder, which I've talked about in the past, binge eating disorder, has run not as rampant as it could have done, but it's been pretty much been a bad time. My mental health has struggled, partly due to my physical health, partly due to stress, partly due just to the fact that we haven't had an awful lot of time, and the time we've had off, either one of us have been poorly, haven't we? So sometimes, like on a Saturday, we'll sleep in till 4 o'clock. So we'll get up, let the dogs out, come back into the bedroom, and then it's like, oh, I'll just have a little nap. 4 o'clock before we actually get up and do anything. But yeah, so I think the plan for me certainly is to go to Slimming World and rejoin this week to a different group, because unfortunately the Tuesday group we were going to, which we love, don't we? And we love everybody there, and Linda, the woman that runs it now, is amazing, and everybody there is lovely, but quite often we don't get in till 1:30 on a Tuesday morning, and the time of the group has now moved from 9:30 to 9, and at 9:30 it was already a struggle, because by the time we get in we've got to get the dogs out, we've got to sort out the stuff in the car that we've brought back home from the group, we've got to then get ourselves, you know, undressed and ready for bed and wound down, which all of that takes a bit of time. So then it means we're not getting to sleep till maybe 3 AM to then try and be up for 8 o'clock to go through the morning routine, which is always let the dogs out, sort them out, then sort the other animals out, and then sort ourselves out. That is really difficult when we're not getting any sleep. So I think we're going to join there's a Wednesday group near us that we've talked about before, and I think we're going to join the Wednesday group and then pop along as a visiting member to the Tuesday group. I think that's the plan, because we don't want to miss them. We don't really want to leave the group. It's just the fact that if it had moved from 9:30 to 10, that we'd be going. But because it's moved from 9 to 9, that little extra time just makes it really difficult for us. But I do need to rejoin, and I know that I had rejoined the Tuesday group and then everything has changed, because I need to draw a line under my weight gain, because if I don't, then this is just going to go on and on and on. I'm going to balloon, which is not good. But yeah, also I know in between us posting we've had some comments online about where we are, what we're up to, so this hopefully will be a bit of an update. Doncaster, we're on our way to Doncaster now to a Health Watch meeting. which is it's fun coming over and doing stuff, but it's become a lot of work. But it's quite interesting that we are Health Watch representatives when our health is bad.
Lots of issues that need addressing in the trans communities.
Yeah, there's tons.
Lots of problems that have been happening.
I mean, I think that was the first thing, wasn't it? When we came over, we knew there were issues in Doncaster.
But didn't realise that quite how many.
No, and so we've been here officially. We've done 3 meetings, which is 3 months. And boy, did we get a very, very intense introduction to the needs of Doncaster.
So there's lots of our community that are being poorly treated by GPs.
Yep.
I say lots of, they try and get some help, whether it's going on hormones or other treatments, and they're being refused by a lot of GPs and really poorly treated. So that's
some
why
of them,
we are.
Some GPs haven't done name changes correctly, NHS details correctly.
A lot of these
GPs
people
have
also not made any complaints about any of the things that have happened. So we're trying to kind of get lots of feedback from people so that we can move forward to help them, because obviously having that feedback from the people, whether it's anonymous or whatever, then obviously that information can be passed on to try and stop all that stuff happening in the future.
And because of the work we've done previously in Bradford and to a certain extent in Leeds with CCGs and the council and places and individual practices, it's actually worked that it's meant that we've got quite a good track record of being able to talk to these people and talk to the NHS and basically say, look, this is what's happening, it's not good enough. And I think in Doncaster previously there's been a support group, wasn't there? But it was very much a let's all come together and try and meet up, a social group. Whereas what Transmission has always been since day one is very much an active, proactive support organisation. Support group is initially and now a support organisation. So that we do come over and we try and fix problems. We try and help where there's issues. We try and find solutions. And I think that's quite a key part of what we do, isn't it? Not just you and I, but the whole Transmission team, is that we do come up with ways round and ways of working within systems and without systems.
So I say within our region that we're in, I don't know any other kind of organisations that actually do that.
Not
where we are,
not to the extent that we do.
Go out of our way to try and do things that others can't.
Yeah, and which is great, but what that's meant is that as soon as we've come into Doncaster, our workload has tripled. But yeah, the good thing is that we are making massive improvements to people's lives over here, which is a phenomenal feeling. But again, it's a lot of work. Hopefully one day we'll be funded for this work.
Should be.
We should be.
We put enough hours in. We put out more hours than 40 hours a week usually. So yeah.
Combined, yeah.
And that's like I say, a lot of it we take home with us. So and then it's just a lot.
So again, it's part of the reason for the stress and that. But people have been asking about that. They've been asking about our animals. We've had to come to a really difficult decision recently, and that is to rehome one of our dogs. It wasn't an easy decision, was it?
No, not at all.
In fact, it's a decision that we've made
about 4 times.
4 or 5 times.
And every time I'd like, okay, well, this is really what's going to be best for her, and her lifestyle, because she hasn't adapted to our lifestyle, and it's like she needs so much more than we could offer her. So it was like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to advertise. We're going to find the perfect home for her, as long as it takes until we find the right family for her. And every time I just, no, I can't do the advert. No, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, which has been difficult.
Yeah,
so basically,
really
in a nutshell, we've often talked about Luna being an ADHD sort of special needs dog, in that she takes a lot of attention, a lot of looking
more
after.
attention than everybody put together.
A lot of looking after, and she demands a lot of attention, doesn't she? And deserves it.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but when she doesn't get it, she will whine and make lots of noise, which we weren't totally aware of until one of our neighbours complained recently about the fact that when we're out on a Monday evening, she whines.
Even in the bed at night time, even though she has a massive bed, like a 4-foot long crate that she sleeps in overnight with her sister, she will still jump up and down all night.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't aware of either. I wasn't aware she was up most of the night.
No. But basically, what we eventually found was a really nice family. Husband and wife, a 7-year-old, and was it a 3-year-old as well?
Yeah, little as well.
And they are really lovely. They've had stuffies before. We met the father, and he asked all the right questions, and he
really nice.
Yeah, bonded with Luna really easily, to the extent that when we weren't sure, and then we talked about it, and they wanted to take her, and so eventually that was all arranged. And then
we went out for a brief walk, and you know, obviously this guy and that went with me. We went out for a walk down the road, and that came back, and eventually when they got to the point where they were going to take her home, I passed obviously her leading that over to the guy, and off she trotted. She didn't even look back and have a look at me or anything, or you know, in any way. She was so happy. It was like, oh. And
then overnight, we've realised that just with Ruby, the mum, and Alvie, we've realised that actually 90% of the disruption, the noise, the waking up in the night and howling is all down to Luna.
Yeah.
Because it seems to have stopped. And we were expecting an awful night, weren't we? We were expecting Alvie to be really upset
and really crying and all the rest of that. No, nothing at all.
No, she was absolutely great. So yeah, so we've now got the 2 dogs.
Yeah.
And Luna's gone to a lovely home, and we've got their details. We can go and visit when we're passing through Birmingham.
The strangest thing is, when Ruby was a baby, the mum, she would, after about, it was about 1 year old she were, and she would like start breaking out of her crate. She would literally break the doors of the crate and pull them inwards and buckle it all. So I was like, okay, well I can't crate her anymore at night time because she doesn't like it. So I stopped doing that, and she was never ever crated again. So last night when I put Elvie in bed, and Ruby got in with her, and she was quiet
sat there
all night.
Yeah,
she went
Ruby got in of her own accord and sat there. And we thought, that's not going to last, so we closed the door.
I thought I'll shut it and have to go and get her out in a little while. No.
And we left the doors open in the hallway and into the bedroom, and we thought,
quiet all night.
We'll have to go and get Ruby out in a bit.
Yeah.
She was quiet
all night.
But then we've also now got, oh God, right, so we've now got, I'm going to do a video of all our animals, but we've got 2...
sorry about all the noises.
Yeah.
These roads are terrible.
Roads in Doncaster.
Yeah,
we've got 2 blue-tongued skinks, which are lizards. They're both about 2 years old, maybe 2.5 years old. They both come from previous other homes. We've got a boy and a girl. They're Indonesian blue tongues. One's an Indonesian Mariki.
Yeah, they've seen
Yep.
Toff.
You've seen Toff, and we've got Jakar, who is the boy. So Natoff and Jakar, which are both named after Babylon 5 characters. Although you keep forgetting Jakar's name.
I do, it just doesn't sit in my head.
It's Ambassador Jakar. Ambassador Jakar, my dear and good friend Jakar. Because I'm a sci-fi geek. So yeah, so we've got those 2. We've also got some bearded dragons. We have 2 bearded dragons. What are they? Citrus something orange. Oh, are they?
The 2 new ones are from blood red parents, but the slightly older ones that we have now are just classed as red. They hypotrans red tiger. Tiger, that's the word. Tiger, just the patterning, and
so we've got
translucent is what is it when they have the white spikes and white toenails.
Oh right, okay. So we need to go around the other side. Oops, I've just realised we've come around this way.
Okay, so we need to carry on going this way until one way.
You'll have to go right because we can't go down. It's a no-end entrance.
So yeah.
Yeah, so we've got 2 which are about 6 months and 7 months old, something like that. And then we've got 2 new babies, which are blood red babies, and they are about 10 weeks old, and they are like that. And then we've got, so go right here. And then we've got 3 assorted fancy mice, which we got because I am petrified of mice. Well, I was petrified of mice.
I learned something yesterday though, that apparently I've always been told there's different types of mice, lots of different types, but that one particular type was called a Dumbo mouse,
Yeah,
which
down and go right.
is apparently doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. Dumbo mice don't exist.
So I learned that yesterday. They don't exist.
But that's it. We've got 2 other mice as well, which are show mice. So they are white show mice, and that's what we thought were Dumbo mice.
Yeah.
But no, the mice aren't being fed to the lizards because the lizards are tiny and the mice are bigger than the lizards. We may well have a feeder colony at some point, but at the moment that's not really what we're doing. And yeah, so we're going to need to go left here and then left and left and left and go around to the French gate. I think we're going to be a bit late for our meeting because we've just come slightly the wrong way, but never mind. So yeah, so that's what we're up to. Hopefully I'm back at college this week as well, doing sign language. Hopefully. We'll see how it goes. My hands aren't great at the moment, so if it's not possible for me to do that, then well, I might just have to try and see what happens, but it all depends on my health. But anyway, so there you go. It's been a bit of a rambling update, but we're going to make the channel so Beyond Authentic will be slightly more about our holistic selves, our lives, rather than just the swimming world. So we will update you with various bits and pieces, but obviously we'll still do the weekly update and let you know how everything's going with Swimming World, because that's a big part of, well, it's still a big part of your life, and it will be a big part of my life again as well. And yeah, so we will update you soon. So then, we're going to sign off now. So do please like this video, leave comments about what you want us to do videos about from our very, very varied lives, and we will see you on another video. And as we always say, happy.
I don't know where I'm going now.
I know, right? We have to go just that way. As we're going to say from now on, whatever you do, remember to always be authentic. Yeah.
That sounds good.
Take care.
Bye.